Setting up MIDI interface. To do that, we must go to Menu MIDI, then choose MIDI ports. One dialog box appears. These drivers you can also find in Windows Control Panel System Control Multimedia Extended MIDI devices. You can select only drivers at which an attached MIDI device or a sound card is installed and available. In upper part of this box we can choose our MIDI in devices. In our case that is MPU401. At lower part of this dialog box we can choose our MIDI out ports. Every MIDI out port can have 16 MIDI channels. You can also test it to hear if that is connected or not. Octava can handle up till 16 MIDI out ports. Imagine, that means 256 MIDI channels. To see more than 2 MIDI out ports, we must click here with mouse, and as you can see that will be listed further MIDI interfaces. And then again 1 and 2. To test your settings, load one of the demo music pieces and play it back. Please take into account Octava produces no sounds. Octava only controls for available MIDI instruments connected to the computer over the MIDI interface. The MIDI instruments of a sound card usually don't have the quality of sampled instruments as one knows it from playing a CD. Assignment of MIDI channels with instrument sound. To do this, we shall go to Menu MIDI, then choose Instrument Channel Assignment MIDI Port, Device 1. One dialog box appears. In the left part of this dialog box we can choose the group of instruments we want to assign to one certain MIDI channels. For example, piano, mallets, organ, guitar, bass, strings, ensemble, brass, woodwind, flutes, synthetic 1, synthetic 2, synthetic 3, popular, percussion and noises. What it means, if we choose, for example, the piano group, on the right side of this dialog box we can choose all pianos which are staying to our disposal in general MIDI standard, like grand piano, bright acoustic piano, electric grand piano, honky-tonk piano, etc., etc. If we choose, for example, brass, like here, in case of channel 2, then you will notice in this part of dialog box on the right side you can choose trumpet, trombone, tuba, muted trumpet, French horn, brass section, synth brass 1 and synth brass 2. General MIDI standard has drums and percussion always on channel 10. That means the channel number 10 is always reserved for drums and percussion sounds. In this case, on the right part of this dialog box, we can choose which drum and percussion set we want to use. Please note, only first and second MIDI out ports are supported by general MIDI standard. All further MIDI ports, that means from the third one up till number 16, they are not supporting general MIDI standards. If you work often with more or less the same orchestration, that is very useful for you if you save these settings here. These settings will be also saved with your document, and when you want to make the next document, these settings will be loaded here as default settings. But if you are changing these settings, and next one, when you want to work with another document, your old settings saved in this dialog box will be default settings. It's also important to say about these settings, which will be used in these dialog boxes. When you want to set in your MIDI preferences for your chosen instrument in orchestral view, in this dialog box, for example, that is oboe, and then you can here choose the number of MIDI channel, volume, chorus, and reverb, and control number 10, panorama, left and right, how you want it, which stereo position you want to have in your orchestra, and of course which instrument the program change. Here is oboe. But don't be astonished if you hear wrong sound here. This will work only if you settle this in this dialog box as explained before, and these settings will be saved with your document.